The Caste War of Yucatan, a protracted conflict that unfolded between 1847 and 1901, was a significant uprising by the indigenous Maya people against the ruling elites and economic exploitation in the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. This article examines the causes, key events, and implications of the Caste War, highlighting its impact on indigenous communities and the struggle for social justice. Historical context. In the 19th century, the Yucatan Peninsula experienced profound socioeconomic disparities and racial hierarchies. The Maya people, who constituted a majority of the population, faced discrimination, land dispossession, and forced labor under the control of the ruling elites, predominantly of European descent. Causes of the conflict. The Caste War was triggered by a series of factors, including indigenous grievances, harsh working conditions on haciendas, cultural oppression, and the repression of indigenous religious practices. The escalating tensions reached a breaking point when a dispute over the payment of tribute to the hacienda owners led to open rebellion. Rebellion and leadership. The Maya rebellion was led by charismatic figures such as Jacinto Pat and Cecilio Cai, who mobilized indigenous communities and formed alliances among different Maya groups. Their leadership galvanized the resistance movement and united the Maya population in their fight against oppression. Guerrilla warfare and battle strategies. The Maya rebels employed guerrilla warfare tactics, utilizing their knowledge of the region's terrain to their advantage. They launched surprise attacks on haciendas, disrupted transportation routes, and engaged in hit-and-run tactics, making it difficult for the Mexican government forces to suppress the rebellion. Mexican government response. The Mexican government responded to the uprising by deploying military forces to quell the rebellion. Initially, the government faced significant challenges in combating the guerrilla tactics employed by the Maya rebels. However, over time, the government's superior resources and military strategies gradually weakened the rebel forces. Lengthy conflict and humanitarian crisis. The Caste War of Yucatan lasted for over 5 decades, resulting in widespread devastation and loss of life. The conflict not only affected combatants but also had a severe impact on the civilian population, with many Maya communities being displaced, villages destroyed, and economic activities disrupted. End of the conflict and legacy. The Caste War officially came to an end in 1901 when the last remaining rebel stronghold, Chan Santa Cruz, was captured by Mexican government forces. The war had a profound impact on the Maya population and the region's social and political dynamics, highlighting the resilience and determination of indigenous communities in the face of adversity. Cultural revival and land rights. Despite the military defeat, the Caste War played a crucial role in revitalizing Maya cultural identity and reinforcing the struggle for indigenous rights. It raised awareness of the injustices faced by the Maya people and contributed to ongoing efforts to reclaim ancestral lands and preserve indigenous traditions in the region. Conclusion. The Caste War of Yucatan was a protracted conflict that witnessed the indigenous Maya people's resistance against socioeconomic inequalities and cultural oppression. The rebellion, led by courageous leaders and sustained by guerrilla warfare tactics, challenged the hegemony of the ruling elites and spurred a renewed sense of cultural identity and indigenous rights. Although the war eventually ended, its legacy continues to shape the ongoing struggles for social justice and the recognition of indigenous rights in the Yucatan Peninsula.